I owe you a dating update. So I have had higher standards in Q4, last quarter of 2023, than I ever have had in my entire life. And that's like a big accomplishment for me, okay? Because I started from the bottom, like we all do. We all don't really know how to stand up for ourselves, how to express boundaries, what we're supposed to be accepting, until you experience a lot, and that is okay. Q4 and going into right now, I feel like I've been dating with intention, dating slowly. I've been on like 3 good dates recently with different people. I have like really strong boundaries right now because I really honestly haven't had the urge to be physical with anyone. Like I really have felt the need to, I don't know, keep everyone's paws off of me for like a few months at this point. And so that's like to my advantage because I'm not as attached right now because I'm not really like trying to be physical with people until there's like more of a mental, emotional connection, I guess, because I just don't care. I just don't care. I'm interested in like intellectual people, and if it's not that, I really don't care right now. You could be so hot. If you're boring, I don't care. If you are rude, if you are unresponsive, I don't care. I stop responding. 2024 is about leaving quietly, okay? The reason being, I saw a TikTok about how a lot of times people feed off of your negative energy when you feel disrespected and you like have an outburst at them, or you go in your notes app and you write that paragraph and then you send it to them. They feed off of that. And once somebody said that, I really needed to hear that because that made me sick. Because I be spitting sometimes, you know, in my anger, in my typing mode. I be saying like amazing metaphors to explain how people hurt my feelings, like, and that must fuel them. And then when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, why would I be giving away my energy like that? Why would I be spitting bars? And some part of you, it feels like it's scratching an itch at the time, but you're really not. You're really, really, really not. And if you are, you're just like deepening the cut. But really it's just, and you're also exposing a wound and making yourself vulnerable for somebody else to come in and suck your energy like an energy vampire. I digress. I'm really working on being non-reactive in 2024, and that's coming to you as a Pisces emotional ass, okay? I understand it's going to be a challenge for me, but I feel like if I can get the reins on that, I can do anything. Like if I could just put a bottle cap on my emotional body and not be so leaky with it, I could probably operate at a 90% more effective rate. Go watch the videos on my channel. You can tell a lot of my issues come from my emotions and me being an emotional mess. Not just in relationships and dating, but otherwise. But still, I've cried on or after way too many dates to keep doing things the way I have been doing them. So bottle cap, okay, on that, and leaving quietly, for sure. Since I've raised my standards and like really been standing on business and keeping those standards, the people that have come to my awareness have been better. And I think that's how it works. I haven't done like that specific journaling about a certain person thing in a long time. Like since I was probably in like college, like years and years ago, because I don't know, I've tried to be like more open-minded about things, and also like, you know, I'm attracted to multiple genders, and I'll get into that, by the way. I'm gonna do that later on in this video because people have asked specifically for me to talk more about dating women. I'm gonna get into that, okay? What I've been doing differently is not entertaining any sort of tomfoolery at all. Any uncertainty, anything that makes me feel confused or like they're not 100% in it or intentional. Like, for example, there was a guy who wanted to take me out, right? At first they're like, oh, let me take you out, all this stuff. They seem like they know what they're doing. And then he suggested a place that's really far from me. And I was like, can we do somewhere like closer to this side? And then he looked it up and said it was 35 minutes and that was too far and that it was raining. And I was like, and not that that's like not valid, but it's just like you don't care enough that I should really entertain this again. And it's nothing against him. I don't care enough for somebody who only cares that much. You understand? I saw somebody last night who, first of all, was beautiful. You know who he looked like? He looks like, is his name Johnny from Love Island, USA, who dated Selly? That's what he looks like. Like, I was looking at his face and I was like, your skin and your eyebrows are so perfect and nice. Muscular, not like too much. Nice tattoos, like just nice everything. Has a chihuahua. I have a chihuahua. So when a man has pets, particularly a dog, particularly a small dog, like that's like a check for me, because it shows like a certain amount of like nurturing and like consistency, being able to take care of something and be kind to something and have compassion for something that might not always make sense to you why they're doing something, but you take care of them anyway. It's like quite an incredibly green flag. And also just to imagine our dogs like playing together, that like warms my heart. He was so sweet. He was so sweet, and not in like the, oh, he's a nice guy, I'm bored way, like sweet and like a, wow, you're really like attractive and hot, but also really sweet and kind. It's like a lot, like in a good way. Are you just an angel? Like, you know what I mean? One of those. And I'm not like crazy enough to make a bunch of assumptions from meeting someone on the first date. I'm just saying he made a great first impression. He seems like a really sweet guy, sweet person. I really hope that our dogs can meet. And, you know, everything was great, and we already have like a second date set up. A great experience. One of my first dates of 2024. I think it's off to a very like high standards start, which is good because, you know, I think it'll continue to go up because the higher your standards are and the more you understand yourself, I think the more things work out. Hopefully, allegedly. As we speak, I just got a text confirming that I have a date with a girl soon. So, like I said, more on that soon. I also have a third date tonight, okay? I would say this is probably my first third date in a while. Like, I've definitely had... okay, yeah. No, yeah, I would say it's my first, like, third date in a little bit anyway. Like, I feel like there's been lots of second dates and then just either something has gone awry or I just wasn't into them, or I don't know. Again, look at my channel, I probably talked about it. But, or it would be like just after the third, but maybe one of them was just a hangout. This person, we've been on like 2 actual dates, like out to restaurants, and they were really fun, actually. And we like laugh a lot. He thinks I'm really funny. He like says low key, he thinks I might be funnier than him, which is like, that's like always been such a green flag for me in regard. Obviously, like that's a green flag. What I'm saying is, I think the people that I've dated in the past have said that to me. There's certain things you want people to see in you. And when people don't see those things in you, you don't feel seen. Because to you, that's like the most valid part of you. I'll give you an example. So for me, I obviously want to feel pretty to someone, whatever, but more than that, I want to feel funny. I want to feel smart. I want to feel like you think I really, really have something to say, and you listen like that. And you listen like to every drop of my story like it's air to you. Because first of all, I will always do that for the person that I'm with. Even my friends. Like, I really, really value the stories that we tell each other and how we communicate and how we try to feel close to each other through the art of talking. And I love having deep conversations with someone. That's how I feel really close to someone. And so if somebody sees me as, I guess, the way I want to see myself, maybe that's part of it too, right? Like, I think a lot of dating is like trying to find somebody who your vision of each other sort of matches. like, that sounds messed up, but I do think generally that's true. I think you date people who make you feel like the person you want to be, or you feel like supports the kind of person you want to be. And like, as an image, whether it be a literal physical, like, or visual image, or like metaphysical image, and like the way you communicate and the way you interact, you want to feel like yourself, and you want to feel like the best version of yourself, and you want to feel seen and understood. So naturally, when somebody calls out the parts of you that you like the most or think are the most important, versus when guys, because there are guys, and I think I learned this a lot in college, because when you're a college girl, people don't like talk about this, I guess, a lot, like maybe a little, I don't know. When you're a college girl, guys really, really treat you like you're garbage, but like you're hot, so you should be there, but like you're so stupid and like literally worthless piece of trash, and like you know nothing, and they talk to you like you're literally stupid, and they're like, listen, you're really pretty, but just, you don't know what you're talking about, stop talking. Like, that happens all the time when you're a young girl. Not, obviously not just in college, but like a college age. But like, I had a lot of guys say like, you're just a college girl, like you don't really care, you don't really know anything, like blah blah blah. And like, some of these people were definitely narcissists and whatever, but it's so, I guess, interesting now, because now I always prided myself on my intellect to some degree, but I don't think I used to understand the value that held in my dating life as much as I do now, or as much as I did in the past few years. Because I think when you first start dating, like particularly as a woman, you're like, okay, so a lot of these motherfuckers aren't gonna listen to me. So that's like step one. Like, are they even entertaining my ideas in a conversation, right? And like with Millionaire Nepo Baby, like, he kind of like faked that he was for a second, but then it became very clear he was like, no, like, you're just pretty. Like, you're messing it up for me because you're talking. Like, that's the energy that a lot of guys give off to me, or at least have in the past, right? Now I have like a little bit more of like a bass in my voice, and a little bit more of like a fee-fi faux fum when I talk, because I can stay more composed about most things. Some things obviously will make me emotional, but it's more about like how I'm being treated than like what we're talking about now. Whereas before, when I was in college, like there was a time where, I might have told this story before, where I had an argument with a kid. We were all kids, but he was like 21, actually. I was like 18. A guy in my dorm who was like fighting me about feminism and saying like, you know, the statistics about like what you're talking about aren't real, blah, blah, blah. And I started to cry because I cared so much about the topic, and it eviscerated me, right? Because I just felt like I melted, and I obviously didn't win that conversation or that argument. Now I can be more composed, but I also don't really argue things that I'm not in the mood to talk about. At the same time, like, when people try to egg me on, like particularly men, about like feminism, or they're like, well, is the wage gap even real or whatever, like on a dating situation, like I'm not gonna go into it, because I'm not like there to do that. I'll take note about it. I'll take note of any ignorance, and I'm not saying that all questions are ignorance, but you know, sometimes it's asked in an ignorant way. You know what I mean by that. But I became super interested in myself and what I had to say, and by extension, I am only super interested in people who are super interested in me, in the way that I'm interested in myself. So when this guy, I understand this is a long tangent, when this guy said, I think you might be funnier than me, to me, that is like such a green flag of, this person is at least showing the potential to be able to respect me and see me and hear me, that I want to be respected, seen, heard. AKA conducive to loved. You see what I'm saying? Because like, My two exes, like, whatever went wrong at a time, okay, when I say my two exes, I say my two most recent exes. Whatever went wrong, there was such a camaraderie via conversation. There was such an intense banter. And when I say intense, I don't mean like angry. I mean like intense, like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we don't even finish a lot of thoughts sometimes because there's just so much bouncing going on. And I miss that. That's what I miss. More than anything, like, otherwise, that is the part of like my relationships that I think of as like good. And like fundamentally, I'll always appreciate those moments and what I got from those conversations and like what I learned. Because I feel like that really helped me grow, like in regards to relationships, is how I thought about that. And that made me feel seen in a certain way. And like when I had an argument with my ex one time about, and it wasn't even an argument actually, it was like I felt that he had said something that didn't make me feel seen in the way I wanted to, and I went off about it, and he said, talk your shit. And I was like, that is the energy I want. I want somebody who respects what I'm saying enough to sometimes just be like, yeah, I can hear you and I don't have to make it about me. Because obviously you have something to say right now and I'm gonna let you say it. And I'm not gonna be mad that you're saying it. I'm not gonna tell you you're overreacting. Any man that tells me I'm overreacting, I'm too emotional, or I'm taking things the wrong way, whatever, they tend to be silencers. They tend to not be good listeners. And I need the opposite of that. And so the other thing about this guy that I'm seeing that I'm like going on a date with tonight, well, a couple things. He told me that he thinks the type of person he is that like, he's on the slight quiet side of like in the middle between quiet and like extroverted. And he said that he feels like he needs somebody who's a little bit louder than him and that he wants to be more on the listening side, even though he does, like, he likes to talk, but he's not as loud as like these other guys that I've been telling you about who seem to like have a need to dominate the room, even though I am attracted to that and to big personalities. But I think that in relationship, there can't be two of that. I think in my experience, it might work in the beginning, but unless every other thing is perfect, I don't know. It's been hard in my experience. So I do think I need somebody who's like a little bit on the quieter, not quiet though. Like I don't want somebody who's like nonchalant. Be chalant, talk to me a lot, but I would love like a 60-40 or even a 55-45. You know what I mean? And he seemed to like feel like he's more on this side and he wants somebody more outgoing than him. And this is the guy who said that he thinks I'm funnier than him. So dynamic wise, that makes sense to me, but obviously it's still early. Like it's, we're only gonna be on our third date today, but all of the dates have been like effortful, like, to some degree, which I appreciate. And same thing with last night, like the other guy, very like much of a gentleman, all this stuff. That's like a given, you know what I mean? Like I've already been kind of living by that. I think I live by it more than ever now, but I've already been living by that. I've never been the one to be like, let me pay for this. Let me drive to you. In regards to dating women, okay? Because sometimes people comment like, more dating women content. It's so much slower to connect and go out with a woman, I find, at least in my city, at least right now. Obviously, I'm trying to manifest the opposite of that. So let's not manifest that. But I am going on a date with a woman. and I'm excited for that. I'm gonna keep you updated on that. I'm definitely putting more effort into dating women. I just find a lot of times I try to put in effort and then it goes nowhere. There's been a few times when I've met a guy and then like it's been like a spontaneous date, like very soon after meeting. I find with women, it's always like, okay, what's your schedule like? And then they're like, okay, I'm free in 2 weeks on this Saturday. And like, this could be a Toronto thing. I don't know. You can tell me in the comments below. But I'm definitely making a conscious effort to date more women. And I think it's working, you know, like I have a date, so that's good. But yeah, if you're ever like, why is she talking so much about men and not as much about women? It's not for lack of trying, okay? And this year, I was gonna make a 2023 dating wrapped, and let me know if you still care about that. This year, meaning 2023, I dated 2 girls, and both of them were very, very slippery and hard to like have a consistent thing with. One of them I actually thought at the time, I thought we were going to date. I thought we were gonna date. Okay, like, and it was one of those things where I was like, yeah, like I remember saying to my friend, and we had hung out like 4 or 5 times at this point, maybe even more, maybe 6. We had like mutual friends. We were going to like events together. We had got tickets to a concert together, which we did end up going to, but she had texted me a little bit before. She was like, oh, I thought you sold your ticket, all this stuff. Anyways, I remember telling my friend, like, yeah, I can definitely see us dating. Like, I would be surprised at something that would happen to like derail this off of its tracks. And then she kind of just like got very ghosty, not ghosty, but like, okay, not ghosty, but like there was a time we were supposed to hang out, and then she was like, I probably told this story a while ago, but she basically like was like, oh, I need to go to the gym, like can we go later, like 9 or 10? And it was like a night that I had to work early the next morning, and originally we were supposed to hang in the afternoon, and I just felt like disrespected by that, and I was like, no, like I can't hang out that late, like blah blah blah. And then after that she like didn't really reschedule, and like we kind of talked, and then it would go nowhere, and then she'd be like, okay, like I've been going through some stuff, needed to step away. And that's what happens with like, that's what happened with the other girl I saw this year too. Anyways, which is like, you know, that's valid. Like, what am I gonna do about that? There's nothing I can do about that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I just am like out of luck when that happens. But then she kind of came back and was like, you know, I'm ready to be social again. And I was like, great, like, let me know when you want to hang out. And then she'd be like, will do. And then like nothing. And then she'd be like, hey, like, you know, I'm just coming back from wherever, like, I want to hang out very soon. And I'd be like, great, like, I'm free this time, like, you know, what's up? Like, what do you want to do? And then nothing. So it's hard not to get disheartened. Okay? And right now, I need people who are showing me effort, because I'm tired of wasting my time, because I don't want to always have to be the driver, and I'm not, like, I'm not, that's not who I am. I don't want to do that, and I don't like doing that. I don't feel good doing that. Having to chase people is not my thing. Like, I'll do a little tap tap on your shoulder, a little nudge nudge, but at a certain point I feel stupid trying to continue to connect. And that's like another girl that I had been trying to meet up with for so long. Okay? And like at first it was like, oh, she was like, let's do something on Sunday. Let's get drinks on Sunday. I think on Friday or Saturday she was like, just kidding, I'm like going to Spain. I'll hit you up when I get back. And then she gets back, and then she hits me up, and I'm like, cool, let's hang out. And then nothing. And then I randomly hit her up like a couple weeks ago and was like, hey, what are you up to? And then she was like, nothing, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm not sure, do you want to hang out? Then she doesn't hit me back for a really long time, and then she says, oh, I'm at the Raptors game. And I'm like, okay, like, And then she's like, would you want to do something after? By that time, it was like hours later that she responded. So obviously I wasn't like sitting around waiting for people because I don't do that anymore. Keyword. And then, and at that point, I just start to get annoyed. And I start to feel like, Kate, if this is what this is, and it's me trying to like communicate with somebody who's hard to grasp, it's not attractive to me. That starts to just bother me. I don't care enough. Because I used to be like that, and then you realize you can't make people do anything, so why would I try to? And if you're trying to egg me to try and make you do something, goodbye. I don't have any business doing that. I don't have any reason to do that. Those are my current dating updates. I am trying to, you know, let people come to me more than, I don't know, force anything or try to chase anything. Like, I'm not like knocking on people's doors the second time, you know what I mean? Like, metaphorically, obviously. I'm just not into that right now. In 2024, I'm leaving that energy behind. I hate when I can see like a police car from my apartment, cause like, why? You know what I mean? Anyways, let me know if you would want me to do a 2023 dating wrap. Also, let me know if I start my podcast again, if you would listen to it. Yeah, that's all I have to say for right now, I think. Ask any questions in the comments for my next videos. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I love you. Goodbye.